So in this video we are going to analyze antennas. So this first antenna we're spanning all the way from 1 to 30 megahertz. And this is a dipole. It's 10 meters, 30 some feet up in the air. From tree to tree, it spans around 11, 12 meters. It has a coil at the end of the 40 meter band, which is a 7 megahertz. And this is how it performs. And then a coil tunes it to 3.9. So at 3.9, I'm getting 1.5. And, well, I'll show the Q. So the Q, you cannot see it here because it's just jumping from one place to another, but the Q is pretty good. It covers all the bands. Now, it also covers the 5 megahertz, a part of the 60 meter band, in addition to the 80. But this antenna is intended for 80 and 40 meters. And additionally, it gives me sort of like the 20 meter band, a little bit high, and also it gives me the 24 megahertz. It's a really good antenna. So now if you want to see the Q on the 80 meter band, so we have to back it up, stimulus, center, and the 3.9 megahertz. And yeah, so you see, it goes from 366, and I'm a general, so I use usually from 3.8 to 4. So it's a good antenna. And then on 7 megahertz, the SWR is a bit high, so that's the edge, 2.7, and when I start, yeah, so you can tune it. This one can be tuned, but it's a good working antenna. Now we're gonna analyze the other one, the 160 meter antenna. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna turn this off, turn it back on, and move to the 160 meter antenna. Now this is the 160 meter and 60 meter vertical and inverted. It's an inverted L, shortened inverted L for this band, 160. For 60 meters, it's vertical, 2 antennas in 1 cable. That's a dipole. That's the GP-80, and that's a Moxon, but that's not SWR. So let's put the SWR. So display, SWR, back, and we're gonna get rid of all the other stuff. Okay, so that you only see SWR. So this one is the Moxon. So the Moxon is tuned, has 4 wires. So the first one, as you can see, 1.5 on 14.340. So yeah, less than 1.6. That's the first wire. The second wire is on 18. I made this a little bit too long, but it still works well on 18. There's 18, 1.4. And then the next band it does, so the other wire is for the other band that goes from 21.27 to 21.450. Yeah, so 21.450, 21.450, 21.7. So the SWR, I made it too short. Yeah, it's really hard to tune the Moxons. And this one, an aggregate, I just got it by chance because there's no wire on that specific band. the 24.9 to 24.990, 930 to 990. So, but it's there, it works. And on the 28 megahertz band, the 10-meter band, see, it's on 28 550, it's 128. That's a Moxon. Now, this is the I I don't really like it. It's a commercial antenna, the GP-80, and it does fantastic. It's just like a band. The SWR is very low, and yeah, sort of like it covers. But I don't really use it because it's really noisy. It's not really good. Well, 7, everything. It covers just everything, with exception of there. Well, that one we won't talk about it because I don't really like that antenna. Okay, now we got to the 160 meter. No, the dipole. This is the dipole for 3.9, and this is the 40 and 80 meter, and there it is. So really good antenna, no? So the intended frequencies, I cut it for 80 with a coil. It's a shortened dipole, and then the main section, it's supposed to be for 40 meters, but it gives me an aggregate, sort of like it covers a little bit of a, but not really the 60-meter band. It's not good on that band. Then sort of, like the 14, but it's high on 20 meters. And this is really nice because it's tuned on 24.930, right? Which is just by chance. I don't know why. And finally, this is the 160 meter antenna, which goes on 1.87 is 1765. It's actually lower, I'll show you. And then on the 60 meter band, and then I get all of these other harmonics that just popped up, and this one is on the 21. So I'm gonna show you the Q on the 160 meter portion again, if I didn't do it before, which is, I think, is really cool. So we center it on 1.9, and we broaden that to what, 0.3 megahertz. Look at that. So that's a Q for 1.8, 2.9 to 2 megahertz, 2.5, but it's centered on 1927, which is a workable antenna. Well, so that's the end of this, and I hope you like it. My 4 antennas, the Moxon, well, that's the Smith and everything, so I'm going to show you these with all the colors, but I'm going to show the log to SWR, so it makes a little bit more sense. So that's the Moxon. I'm covering bandwidth from 1 megahertz to 30 megahertz. You can see that down there. I don't know if you can. And that's a Moxon. That's the commercial GP-80, the Moonraker, crazy antenna. And then that's the dipole for 40, 80 meters and 40 meters, even though it has 60 here, sort of like 60 on these other 2 bands. And that's a 160 meter antenna and the 60 meter antenna. So now you've seen it all. And this is Kilo Oscar 6 Delta Echo Victor. Oh, and by the way, I'm using good coax because, well, not super good coax. It's not the 400. It's, from the X Engineering, they're good coax. So, because I think that really matters. And on the dipole, I'm using ladder line. On this one, I'm using ladder line and banana plugs and stranded steel wire. And if you look at the previous video to this one, you can actually see the antennas and not the chart of the antennas. Kilo Oscar 6 Delta Echo Victor 73.